Hi everyone, Shane here from Keep It Simple Safety with another 5 minutes on safety video. Today we're going to talk about SWMS or JSAs, JHAs, whatever name people want to give to a risk management procedure, because that's really what you're creating. They've been bastardized is really the only word that describes what's happened to SWMS over the years. Originally, they came from a place where, for high risk work, you need to put together a step-by-step process that showed how you were going to reduce the risk on that particular type of work that you're going to do. Now, it wasn't meant to be war and peace. It was meant to literally lay out, I'm going to get on a ladder, or I'm going to climb on the roof. This is what I'm going to do to make sure that I don't fall off, hurt myself. So it was never meant to be, and still doesn't have to be, a 20-page document that details every little step that you're going to do. You should always think of it as a high-risk type document. It's not for, using a power tool. Even though some places that you may subcontract to may require you to do one for a power tool, is a complete waste of your time. You're much better off having a safe operating procedure for a power tool, because at least you can train somebody to that and sign them off. So SWMS is a safe work method statement, or a job hazard analysis in a JHA, or a job safety analysis, or a job safety and environment analysis. There's a whole variety of different ones that I've heard of over the years. It's not really, the important part to remember is that it should have in it who's going to work on the job, what PPE is required, do you need any training to do this, so do you need to be qualified to work at heights. It should have a step-by-step instruction on what you're going to do. So I'm going to climb on the roof, I'm going to fix these sheets of iron, what are the risks for those particular steps, and how are you going to reduce the risk. So what are you going to do? You're going to wear a harness, you're going to tie off, excuse me, you're going to do, what are you going to do to reduce that risk? And then everyone who is part of that job should sign off that they are happy with what it says and that they're going to follow what it says. And if anything changes whilst you're doing the job, you can always amend your SWMS and sign it off again. It's meant to be a living document, so it's not meant to be, this is the only way. If it suddenly gets windy or something changes about the job, or then you should amend your SWMS. Don't just forget that it's there and just keep working or do something different. You have to remember that this is a document that you're signing off to say that this is how I'm going to do the job. So if you don't do what it says and somebody gets hurt, then everyone can be held accountable for that. So it's really important that what you say in that SWMS or JSA is what you do. So like I said, don't think of it as a static document necessarily. Sometimes businesses do use them like that because they will say this is the way that it has to be done. There are no other options. So don't feel like there's only it has to be a flexible document. Sometimes they can be more like a procedure. But they are designed for high risk work. You don't need one for cleaning an office or any of that sort of stuff. So inside your business, if you do high risk work, then it's something that you should look at. But if you don't do high risk work, then you don't need to worry about having a SWMS. Sometimes you might want to look at doing a safe work procedure, because you may want to just include in your procedure all the things you want people to do. It might not be necessarily about reducing the risk, but making sure that the process gets done the same way every time. So there's a lot of different ways you can look at this, but there's actually an article I wrote, which I'll put a link in below this, about SWMS. And I've written all sorts of different SWMS for all sorts of different occasions, many of them not required, but at the end of the day, if you do high risk work, it is super. There's no other way that I can describe it. It is super important that you do a SWMS, because you have to have a way to show what you're doing, how it's going to reduce the risk, and everyone needs to sign off on it, and everyone needs to be part of creating it. So I won't go any further than that. I think that covers all the basics. Just remember that it is about managing risk. There are lots of different ways you can do SWMS and JSAs. They don't have to be in any special format. They just have to do that process. Identify the steps, find the hazards, show how you're going to reduce the risk. That's what it's all about. Thanks for watching. As always, there's 3 different ways we can help you right now. Subscribe to this channel and get notifications of all the upcoming videos and everything that gets put on here. Join our small business safety Facebook group. It has lots of great content, and you can interact with us and ask us questions, or click on the link below and get your 7-step guide to implementing your own safety compliance system in your business. It has all the details about things like SWMS and procedures and everything. It's a really useful tool, and hopefully be very helpful for you. Thanks for watching.